Insurance is one of those things that we all have, but hope never to have to use. And most of the time the insurance we have is to help cover us for when things happen. So when I say us, ourselves, our property, our materials. We also take out pet insurance to help cover accidents and illnesses that might happen in our pets. But what happens if your pet accidentally injures somebody else, or somebody else's pet, or damages somebody else's property? Well, that's where third-party insurance comes in. I'm Dr. Cath Watson, and welcome to the PD Pet Care Vlogs. So, as I say, third-party insurance is for when there is accidental damage to others' property, which includes other people, their pets, and their property. So under New Zealand law, if you own a dog, you are actually liable for the damages for injury caused to another dog. And so it's a legal requirement to keep your dog under control. And that's part of the Dog Control Act in 1996. And you can actually be prosecuted if your dog does damage somebody else's dog and be liable for up to a $3,000 fine. That's aside of any costs of fixing that dog, veterinary costs or healthcare costs. If it's a really serious injury to a person or another dog or to protected wildlife, then that can jump up to $20,000 fine and up to 3 years in prison. So that's all covered legally. But like I say, it doesn't really cover the cost of actually repairing those damages or replacing the damaged item or fixing up the injured dog or cat or pet that may have happened. And that's where third-party liability, third-party insurance comes in. So the part of the problem is obviously it's difficult to determine liability in a lot of cases. You need to be negligent in some way, i.e. your dog's not being kept under control. So if you're out, let's say in a dog park, somebody else has got their dog on a lead and your dog rushes up and attacks that dog, obviously you don't have that dog under control. However, if it's someone else's dog that rushes up to your dog and your dog reacts by biting that other dog, then obviously it's not your dog that's at fault because it is under control. The other dog is not under control, in which case there's no fault on your behalf. In other probably clearer situations, when you're talking about damage to property, so let's say you've got a cat that has been visiting the neighbour's place and clawing their furniture and damaging that furniture. Well, clearly if it's been caught in the act and that furniture is damaged and it's your cat, then third-party insurance would cover the costs of replacing that couch. But you might also want to think about how you're going to contain that cat. Knocking over valuable ornaments or prized possessions, all of those sort of things. You know, if you've got a dog visiting a friend's house and a disaster happens like that, or they pee on the carpet and damage the carpet, all accidental, perfect opportunity for third-party insurance to help cover those costs rather than you having to be out of pocket for it.